So, it's the Halloween season, and what a better way to begin by playing with a corpse of a franchise. This is Silent Hill 1 for the PlayStation 1. Ignore that, that's probably not important. It sounds strange to say this considering it's an M-rated game, but the Silent Hill first two games at least were a big part of my childhood. I really, really loved this series. But, for the past decade and a half, I guess, it's been really, really hard to love this franchise. I mean, this music is amazing. It's one of the best. The series has some of the best soundtracks of all time. It's the first time that I ever learned the name of the composer of a video game, Akira Yamaoka. I probably pronounced that wrong, but most of the story we get through is this intro cutscene, and this animation. Like, this is CGI that still holds up today. I mean, it doesn't look like photorealistic, but it's technically good CGI animation. Like, you could probably make an animated series that looks like this today, and nobody would complain. It looks better than some of the CGI cartoons we get today. I'm probably going to get copyrighted for the music, but I don't really care. So, the story is that Harry Mason is going to Silent Hill with his daughter. This is a common vacation spot that they often go to in New England. However, along the way, not only does the police officer he's driving with disappear, he sees an apparition in the road, and that forces him to crash. And we see little fragments of the story as this intro rolls. I have to set up the controls. I will be right with you. Alright, I fixed it. I still need to turn down the audio, though. Let's start. We're gonna play on normal. I cannot beat this game on hard. Not that it's the most difficult game in the world, I just am not the most adept gamer in the world. Anyway, after a car crash, Harry has found out that his daughter is missing. And stumbles out of his car into the foggy world of Silent Hill. Now, the in-game graphics are they're better than some of the early PS1 games, but it's still quite clearly a PS1 game. This place is like a ghost town. Already, right away, it hits you with the strangeness. They're on a summer vacation, and yet it's snowing. Then again, they are in New England, and New England weather is weird. Now, you have access, not right now, but you have access to the entire world, or the city of Silent Hill. Which is a lot of hardware space, and very, very hard to render. So, the people who made this game worked around technical difficulties and loaded it with fog to just mask the limitations of the console.
Cheryl?
You've probably heard this before because it's a move that's still praised to this day as absolute genius.
Where are you going?
It doesn't feel like laziness or anything.
Stop.
Now, this game does have flaws, and we'll get to them as we go along. But yeah, like, this limitation, they used it to their strength. They didn't just hide it. The fog adds to the atmosphere of Silent Hill, and in a way, it becomes Silent Hill. You can't have Silent Hill without the fog. It's just a part of the overall world that has been constructed. Of course, Silent Hill has been a series known for not really getting out of its comfort zone. And we're going to be talking about the series as a whole as it goes on. And it's going to be a disappointing ride. But first, let's go down this alleyway. Now, with the way the camera is turning, it's meant to make you uncomfortable, and you will probably hit the walls. That's intentional. As you go in here, siren goes off. It's getting darker, and Harry takes out a lighter, I guess. This is how you do a prologue. It's one of my favorites of all time. A broken wheelchair. What's this doing here? Just listen to the ambient sounds. While graphics do age poorly, sound direction, sound design, that is something that will never get older. If you can master that, you're going to have an aesthetic that will stand the test of time, even if the technology you used didn't. You go down here, and you come across a corpse.
What's going on here?
And you immediately get tagged. These enemies are different in the HAL version, because they're basically demonic kids. I think the Prima guide called them demon children, which I guess they are. But their actual name is Grey Children. And the door, or the way you came, is completely gone. In the PAL version, you're going to be facing things that kind of look like teddy bears. There's nothing you could do except just succumb to it and die. And you wake up in a diner. It was all a dream, maybe.
Was I dreaming?
How do you feel?
Oh, like I've been run over by a truck. But I'm all right, I guess.
Glad to hear it. You from around here? Why don't you tell me what happened?
Wait a second, I'm just a tourist.
Alright, if I have a criticism immediately, it's that the voice acting and the diction of
I don't know
what the people are saying, that's aged pretty poorly, and it's going to keep holding this game back a lot.
I'd like to find out myself.
I mean, it's not as bad as Resident Evil's, but Resident Evil's is kind of charming. This is just stilted.
Just turned 7 last month. Short, black hair. My daughter.
Sorry. The only person I've seen in this town is you.
Where is everybody?
I'd tell you if I knew, believe me. But from what I can tell, something bizarre's going on. That's all I know. What's your name?
Harry. Harry Mason.
Sybil Bennett. I'm a police officer from Brams, the next town over. The phones are all dead, and the radio too. I'm going back to call in some reinforcements. Hold it. Where do you think you're going?
My daughter. I've got to find her.
No way. It's dangerous out there.
In that case, I need to find her now. Cheryl's my little girl. I can't just leave her out there by herself.
Have you got a gun?
No.
The only American without one.
Take this, and hope you don't have to use it. Now listen to me. Before you pull the trigger, know who you're shooting. And don't do it unless you have to. And don't go blasting me by mistake.
Okay, I will
Got it?
keep that in mind.
Yeah, thanks.
You do best to stay nearby. I'll be back with help as quick as I can.
Yeah. Ooh, a pinball machine. Nothing unusual in this day and age. Hopefully they will find the notes useful. Hopefully the saves are actually last. I had an ISO that didn't save my saves for some reason. And yes, I actually do own the disc of Silent Hill. I'm just using an ISO for convenience. You need the flashlight and the map. Now, this was definitely a big development at the time, and it really set Silent Hill apart. Other survival horror games at the time, like Dino Crisis or Resident Evil, you were entirely in enclosed areas. Even in Resident Evil 3, where you were just largely in the in a city for the first part, it still was very constrained, small areas. And we can see where we want to go. Old Silent Hill. We want to equip the gun. Now, you're usually recommended to save ammo, but... and the radio. The flashlight and the radio are two Silent Hill staples.
What's that? Huh. Radio. What's going on with that radio?
And in comes the pterodactyl thing.
This is not a dream. What's happening to this place?
Now, a cool thing about this game is that the enemies aren't just like zombies. Every single enemy has a symbolic meaning. This is something that I think is endemic to the Silent Hill series. It's another one of the things, like the fog, that makes the Silent Hill series the Silent Hill series. And of course, it's one of the first things they abandoned to sell it to Pyramid Head. Okay, this is a really cool move. Like, you just got killed in that alley. And the first place the game forces you to go is the alley where you just died. This time you got a gun, but still. The controls are tank controls. It's, I'd say an acquired taste, but I think it's one of those things that you've had to have grown up with. Even in survival horror games, I really wish you could just move like an actual fucking person. Anyway, it's recommended to not fight all the enemies you come across because you'll run out of ammo. Only fight when you absolutely have to. I always go into this convenience store first because it's got a lot of good stuff that we're gonna need. Health drinks. Three of them and a first aid kit. My favorite convenience store, 8. 888. So much better than 7-Eleven. Ah, he noticed me. I would tell you what these enemies mean right in the moment, but that would spoil the story, and we don't want that for a 20-year-old game. Almost. It turns 20 next year. And my god, it's had a hard life. Like, people complain about, like, how badly other franchises were abused, like, Sonic is one. But let's be real here. Sonic has had good games since it became 3D. And the flaws of Sonic came because people just didn't know what to do with the Blue Hedgehog. They didn't know how to utilize technology. The Silent Hill series was made by people who didn't know what they were doing, by people who didn't care what they were doing, and by companies that were actively malicious. There's a health drink in your car. But yeah, like, after Silent Hill 4, actually, after the first half of Silent Hill 4, the series just never recovered. I mean, there was definitely some sparks of fun here and there. I had fun with Homecoming. I had some fun with Downpour and Shattered Memories, but and of course, everybody loves the one game you can't get anymore, PT. But besides PT, after 4, I guess, there's never been a good Silent Hill game. And that's really sad. Beware of dog. I just killed 2 of them. Another one isn't going to be a problem. Yeah, the big bloody thing is there to let you know that this wasn't a dream. You have to do exactly what you did to get yourself killed last time. Hopefully you're prepared to face your demons. And that's the strength of a video game. Forcing the player to do things that they wouldn't want to do. Like, in a movie, you could just shout, "No, don't go in there," but a video game makes you do it. Am I think I'm fine. Anyway, this will tell you, you don't have to go here, but story shut.
Isn't this Cheryl's sketchbook? She's at the school.
By the way, the point where the series officially died is with the first Silent Hill movie. In my opinion. Like, before that, the series was really, really good, or at least okay, with Silent Hill 4. Silent Hill 4 I have an interesting relationship with, and we'll probably get the chance to talk about it as things slow down. But I absolutely hate the first Silent Hill movie, so much that I didn't see the second one, which, yes, I know is worse, but the Silent Hill movie is something that it's something different than bad. I find it a very disrespectful movie. And, maybe I'm going to review it one day. I mean, like, I picked for my live-action reviews, I picked a name like, Family Film Failures. Yeah, that's still a mouthful. Because I didn't want to, you know, review M-rated movies and shit like that. R-rated movies. Stuff that I would really just not be comfortable watching. Let's see if I can use the pipe. Not the most Not the favorite weapon, but it's better than the knife. Like with most survival horror games, combat is very, very clunky. It encourages you to only fight if you have to. The goal of the game is to make you feel weak. Harry is just a normal guy. Later on in the series, it was determined that he was a writer, which is not someone who's very combative. Anyway, this will tell you to go to the doghouse on Levin Street. And that's what we'll do. This thing, and inside it, there's a key, which will take us inside this house. Also, it is kind of a nitpick or just a personal pet peeve, but I hate when you're randomly allowed to go in one house, but, you know, none of the others. I mean, that's one thing that certainly hasn't aged. And the keys for the Eclipse are this way. So, now we have more details to our map. By the way, yes, every single street is named after a writer of horror. Or, like Ray Bradbury. I don't know who many of these people are, because I'm not the biggest horror aficionado, at least in literature. But it's definitely an interesting touch. Like, this is definitely a game where a lot of passion was put into. And I believe that if you're on a New Game Plus, you can actually get in there. Even after all this time, I still need to use the map to navigate. I mean, it's not a very big area. This area is only 9 city blocks. But still. Also, I would recommend you double back, look at all of the porches and stuff, because I do believe some of them have items and shit. This game grades you for a lot of things, like, I don't know if it's how many items you have, or find, but there's things like how fast you complete the game, how many enemies you kill. Ah! Honestly, I'm surprised the camera is as good as it is. Normally, when I play this game, I don't conserve ammo. I just go for it. Just shooting what I can and dodging everything else. I don't rely on melee until halfway through the game. I mean, when you get into a building, it's actively, like, really difficult to avoid. Bad doggy! I mean, I guess I'm gonna stop pretending that you don't know the story. If you want to keep this unspoiled, I'd recommend watching a long play where there's no narration. Although it really wouldn't make sense, it'd be very hard to explain what these enemies mean right now, considering what we haven't across. Be good. Be good. Alright. Now, you can attempt to get through the entire game without the radio or the flashlight. I mean, it's definitely possible to play without the radio or to manually turn it off. I don't know why you would do that, though. You need the flashlight to do things like look at your map. And the radio, enemies can't hear it. To this day, I do think that the original Silent Hill has some of the best sound direction in any video game ever. At least with the non-vocal shit. I mean, Silent Hill's dialogue and how the actors portray it is marginally better than most PS1 graphic or PS1 acting. But it's certainly got its issues. Like, compare it to Crash or Spyro. Games that were made absolutely for a younger audience. The dialogue in that game is way easier to take seriously because the voice actors portray it better. I mean, at the very least, Spyro the Dragon used professional voice actors. That series did. I don't know about the voice actors in this game. But some of the dialogue can get very clunky. It's very blunt and stilted, not like how people really talk in reality. Like, every time Harry meets a new person, he gives the exact same description of his daughter. Like, it's almost like they reuse the line over and over again, like the audio clip of it. Okay. Disappeared. Ammo. Nice. Nice ammo. Now, for boss battles, there are bosses in this game, and I do think you absolutely need ammo to take them out. Ah. It's almost like I have no depth perception. Like, you get a lot of ammo early on in the game. Like, this game taught me that ammo conservation, not all that big of a deal. Anyway, I think if you can get away from them, they'll stop chasing you. Usually in the corners and shit, there is plenty of good, goodies. Where are we exactly? Okay. Oh, wait, there's a circle down there. I missed the fucking key. These guys are actually very easy to dodge if you're not fighting them in the cafe. So you go here. Go across this bridge. Hello! I think it fell. Okay, it seems like I'm either going to run out of ammo or I'm going to run out of health stuff, and the health stuff is more valuable to me, so... You don't have much control of the camera, even in free-roaming areas like this. And survival horror is a genre where bad things in other genres really work to its strength here. Oh my god. There we go. In the cop car, there's a key of lion. Wrong thing. We have key of scarecrow, key of lion, because this is actually a reference to the Wizard of Oz. It might sound completely random, but it's actually quite fitting. Anyway, this off-limits place, let's go inside. Inside, there is another key. Key of Woodman. I think they mean woodsman, not woodman. He was made of tin. And somebody tried to play basketball with a dog's head. Like, I'm not turned off by disturbing things if it's appropriate for the situation. If you're wondering with my reputation. In a place like Silent Hill, something like that probably would appear. Anyway, with all that together, all we have to do is go back to that house. And as you've noticed, every single way is blocked off. You have to go back to that house because this area is actually divided into 3 areas. I believe that's the alleyway. I mean, you can use the street signs to figure out where you're gonna go or where you have to go, but who does that? Nah, the map's where it's all at. Wrong one. Okay. I would highly recommend saving now and actually saving new places. Anyway, key of lion, key of woodman, key of scarecrow. And immediately, it gets dark. And that haunting soundtrack starts up all over again. When I was a kid, I actually had to turn off the background music because it was just that atmospheric. Like, nothing else got to me. Like, the graphics, they've always looked like they did. It's kind of hard to take it seriously as it is a disturbing thing, but no, the music really did get to me. It's a brilliant soundtrack. Of course, it's hard to explore this area because now it's dark. Also, the pop-in is a little bit more noticeable around here. Now, you have to go to the school, but there's some things we can get before then. Now, if you don't stop them dead, they'll get back up later. How are we doing for ammo, by the way? Oh, yeah. We're fine. Each of the handgun bullets things, I think, has 15. Oh yeah, you need 2 hands drawn in this game. There is no exits out of town. This is also blocked off. You can't go that way. It's a really interesting way to do the concept of an invisible wall. Come on, come on. You do not want to spend a lot of time out here. The enemies will continually drain your health. Come on. There should be a bus around here. There it is. Come on, get in. Get in, I said. Thank you. Alright, we're still going to bed. Health drinks. And a save point on the school bus. Yay. Nothing else in here. Anything else you want to find in the outside area, you can find later. Just make sure you have a decent amount of ammo before you go into the school. Because once you're in, it legit won't let you leave. Or Harry won't. Cheryl might be here. I should search for her. And immediately you get the school map. And I must say, this is a really small school. Let's see. 2 classrooms on the first floor. Yes, 6 classrooms. I mean, I guess 6 grades is enough for an elementary school. Still, it strikes me as a quite small school. For a horror game, they really give you a lot of stuff. I mean, I guess maybe because I'm playing on normal. I mean, on hard, like, you're rationing things. You get the same amount of items. The items are there no matter what the difficulty is. But look at this. Blood-stained notes. It's written in blood. Golden in old man's palm, the future hidden in his fist, exchanged for sage's water. I believe this is number 2. 12 o'clock. A place with songs and sound. A silver guidepost is untapped in lost tongues. Awaken at the ordained order. "5 o'clock. Darkness that brings the choking heat. Flames render the silence, awakening the hungry beast. Open time's door to beckon prey." Quite foreboding. And here you just get this. I always suspected my teachers were into something like this. Also, they have handgun ammunition. I'm not even going to comment. The 2 doors into the hallways, though, they're locked. Can't go that way. Can't go that way. And so, you're forced out here. Where immediately you hear them. The enemies you fought before. Now, each of the enemies in this game are symbolic, based on something. Now, you probably know who, or you probably, we're going to find out who this girl Alessa is, but she is the reason that Silent Hill is going through this. So, that's debatable, but it's the reason why you are here, more or less. She is a 17-year-old girl who has had one hell of a life. And these enemies are based on the bullies that she had to deal with while in school. It's also why they were changed in PAL regions, because in the UK, if your game involves violence against kids, it gets immediately banned. That's why Bethesda doesn't allow you to kill kids in Fallout or Elder Scrolls, even if it completely breaks the immersion. These things don't hurt you. They're a symbol of Alessa's loneliness, basically. They just squeak about and are shadows. Now, I don't think enemies respawn. I like to touch every door, even if I know it's locked. The 2 enemies in the outside area, the dog and the dinosaur, the dog is because Alessa is scared of dogs. I think there was a story where she was actually bitten. And the dinosaurs is because she's fascinated with them, basically. Now, this place, because the creators of this game didn't really know what an American school would look like, there's a lot of references to Kindergarten Cop. I've never watched the movie, so I don't know what the references are. And we're in the boys' room. No real point to being in here. Charles' room? You hear something like drop in there, I think. But that's all we can do on the first floor for now. We have to go upstairs. I love how his flashlight is just one, like, illuminated pixel. It's literally just that. The things you don't notice when you're a kid. And the roof is also locked. That's a big-ass roof access door. But yeah, most of the doors that you're going to come across are jammed. How we doing? Health drink. But yeah, like, look at all the little details that they put into the background, though. A lot of just posters and props. So much extra detail. I mean, this was a good way into the PlayStation 1's lifespan. But still, it's definitely impressive for the time. Okay, you are dead. Ah. Yeah, a lot of the times the game is going to force you to fight things you can't see. But, you know, bad in every other genre, good in survival horror. Yep, that's crying. They're basically manifestations of Alessa's memories. Anyway, let's actually do what we're supposed to. This was the track that caused me to turn off the music while playing. Not that a Silent Hill isn't creepy on its own, it's just like, it sounds like a fucking beast ready to eat you. That track still kind of creeps me out. I said monsters don't respawn, but they do spawn. Like, if you do something plot important, there's probably going to be enemies on the outside of the door. First part of this puzzle is incredibly easy. The fist shut tight as if to never let go. You just pour some chemicals on this old man's hand. That is apparently Sage's water. Take the gold medallion, and we'll take this to the clock tower. Get off me! Like, partially obscured in darkness, these guys still look creepy. this is open. We have no reason to go there right now. And it's locked. Am I... Yes, I am going to do that after every single time I get attacked. That's how I play games. Strangely, survival horror has an interesting paradox, where the more you kill the player, the less frightening everything becomes. Like, the best kind of survival horror, in my opinions, are the games where you don't die ever, but the ones where you feel like you're going to die all the time. A golden sun. And you can see the tower door is locked. The hands are stopped at 10. So you just place this in the thing. And now we go to my least favorite puzzle in the game. The kind of puzzle that I was only able to beat as a kid through absolute fucking guessing. And keep in mind, I had the Prima Strategy Guide, and the Prima Strategy Guide was useless in solving this puzzle. Let's go to it first. I don't remember the solution offhand, but let's see if we can logic it out. This is not the room, but it's something. And, jump scare. Kind of. Just a cat. Yeah, what was in the locker isn't threatening, but something threatening does appear. Nothing inside. It's completely optional, but it's a good gag. What's the sign say? I don't know. Outside, you'll face a new enemy. That thing apparently is the thing that killed the cat. This door is also open. Let's go that way later. It's kind of cool how you can just see over the edge. This room. If you go in here before placing the gold one in the thing, the piano's case will be closed. But after you put the gold medallion in the clock tower, it'll open and you can start pushing keys. Now, I had the Prima Strategy Guide, and it was useless here. You want to know why? It told me the solution. It told me to press, like, the piano keys, C-A-D. Even now, I have no fucking clue which key is C. As you can see, there are some keys here that make no sound. Like, I could infer that those were the ones that were important to press. So I'm just going to write it down. Okay, so the top row. That one. And that one. Seven keys on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5. Thanks. Alright. So, there are only 5 keys that you can hit. But pressing them randomly and trying to get the correct combination, which is, yes, how I passed this originally, because I was stupid and didn't know how to use the internet. Well, actually, it was 1999. I don't know if we had internet back then. Where's my pen and paper? It's written in blood. I wonder if the eyes are hyper-realistic, too. Alright. So, it's going to tell you a bunch of birds. A tale of birds without a voice. Alright. So, birds without a voice means the keys that don't make a sound. First flew the greedy pelican. Pelicans are white, so the first key is white. Eager for the reward, white wings flailing. Eager. Okay. Then came a silent dove. Second key is white. Beyond pelican, or beyond first, so it comes afterwards, and it's the furthest to the right. The third is a black key. Above the dove. The swan is the fourth is a white key. White, next to another bird. Yeah, I couldn't really parse this out as a kid. Finally comes the crow, quickly coming to a stop, and finally, furthest right. Finally, black, furthest right. Who will show the way? Who will be the key? Who will lead to the silver reward? Okay. So, let me just write down what I think the solution is. Okay. Let's see if I can do it, now that I'm actually paying attention to what the riddle means. Check the piano, yes. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try... no. Let's try something different. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Yeah, I just clicked the wrong one. I got the solution correct. I did it! Yay! After 20 fucking years, closure. This was a great puzzle. It just took me 20 years to solve it. Oh, hey. Harry is not combat oriented. So he's gonna miss quite a few shots. Getting kind of low on ammo. A silver moon. Perfect. Looks like the whole place is going up in awful, awful sounds. Go in here. I think it's just one of those shadows in here. Yeah. They'll still make you jump. But yeah, it looks like Alessa was one of those kids who just hung out in the library. Because she couldn't take a bullying by other students. Ah. Is there anything else in here? No special book here. No need to read any of these books. Harry, a man of priority. Zoop-a-doop. There we go. What are we doing? Well, we're back over 50, so that's good. Ah. Come on. The shadows still will trigger your auto-aim, and that's pretty much the worst they can do to you. It can still be annoying. Ah. There we go, finally. Ah! Alright, I think that's all of them. And yeah, I don't think I should even need to mention that a level like this wouldn't be made today, I believe. Or at least wouldn't be localized in the United States, considering the climate of everything. Oh, just the squeakers. Nothing in here. See. Nothing inside. And in here, there's a button. You got to press the button. Ooh, what does this button do? Could you imagine that in Dexter's lab? Dee Dee presses a button and it transports her to Silent Hill. That's my favorite episode. Anyway, my throat is sore, and I've been doing this for an hour. I think it's a good place to call it for now. There we go, and I will see you guys later. So, the game didn't save because for some reason the ISO of Silent Hill doesn't save, and I don't know why. Maybe my memory card is full. I doubt it. I don't think that's the case. So what I had to do was play through the entire game again. And I'm going to be forward with you. I'm going to use save states to, save. So whenever I go to here and create a new file, I'm just going to press the save state button. I'm not going to abuse it. But I played through the game. I found some things that I didn't find before. A couple of, an extra health drink on the Queen Burger from outside, and handgun bullets in the chemistry lab upstairs. I have a lot more bullets because I have been a lot more hesitant to, just kill everything. So we have 15 plus 105, 120 bullets, 5 first aid kits, 14 health drinks. We got a good hodgepodge of equipment. So anyway, after you activate the boiler, you go outside with everything roaring, and you're finally able to enter the clock tower. And this is where Silent Hill becomes Silent Hill. this is the one thing that you absolutely need to have a Silent Hill game. If this doesn't happen, it's not a Silent Hill game. And in here we could see a bunch of cans or bottles. I don't know what these are. Maybe some kids coming in here getting drunk. I don't know. Keep out. You go through it, and you go up a mirrored ladder. And in the distance you hear air raid sirens.
Where am I? Have I been here before? I don't remember this being here before.
Now, as you can see, it's raining and not snowing. That immediately gives you the impression that it's warmer here. And warmer is a way to make it feel more hellish. You have the same map, but guess what? All of your marks are completely different now. They're completely removed. Let's see. The tower door is locked. Yeah, you can't go back the way that you came. And you can't remove these things either, I think. Instantly, you're getting this hellish track. This door, I believe, is locked. Yeah. And you go inside. And welcome to hell, basically. This is known as the Otherworld. Silent Hill is definitely not the first game to have a parallel world system. After all, we've played A Link to the Past, which did it years before this. But it truly went as far as you could with this. There's more blood everywhere. The world is just like someone's nightmares. Chains hanging on. There's a hanging corpse in between the two fans. And it only barely resembles what it once was. I have no idea what these posters say. Never noticed them before. Now I think this is a more straightforward level than the original. So in here you get all kinds of creepy things, like some dolls hanging on the back here in front of a hanging corpse. Like, when it comes to horror, this is like my biggest inspiration. This is locked, yeah. Generally here, there's only one way to go. Like, I think this is also locked. Yeah. And in the hall, there is... Oh, these bugs. They're just annoying, really. One shot and they're dead. I also noticed that this school doesn't have a cafeteria or a gymnasium, even though it has a locker room. And there's just more hanging chains. Like, maybe the hall is supposed to be the cafeteria? I don't know. So, we unlock this. So in the hallway, you're going to come across big steel gates like this that you can't get through. They weren't in the original world. Bloody lockers. Oh, cards. You just get random real-world things thrown in, and it's kind of unsettling. The 3 of diamonds and the ace of black clubs, it looks. Ah, get off me. Oh, there's a lot of them. Run, 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 run. Yeah, sometimes Harry could literally jump backwards. Turn down the game's volume a bit. There we go. Let's see, there is nothing else in here, I think. Can I go through this door? Nope, can't go through that door. Okay. Alright, and this is not a door? Okay. And the goal, once again, is to get to the boiler room, which we can't do here because of this thing. Sorry, I needed a drink. And as you can see, there are a lot more enemies. If you've been saving your items, I'd highly recommend doing them here, or using them here. In these narrow halls, it's very difficult to avoid things. I have a lot more ammo this time around because I haven't been shooting the dogs and birds outside. Once again, though, the infirmary is a safe room. So, I guess just save. Yes. Okay. Yep, you get more guys hanging on outside. It's just grotesque, and this is really the first time American games were allowed to be like this. Now, the PlayStation was the first console that grew past Nintendo's dominance. And Nintendo, I love them, but there is a reason that the games for so long were considered kid stuff. And Nintendo's censorship was probably a big reason to that. Yeah, and you can't go outside. Also, we found an amp hole here, I believe. Yes. Relieve pain to recover stamina to high. Basically, this is a full heal, and it keeps you healed for... I think it has some regeneration properties, so you'll be restoring things for longer. This is just gruesome. It's locked. There's a lot of background noise going on right now. Alright, the noise has subsided. We get in here and we come across the painting in, well, real life is probably not the right word. And once again, there are more of these bottles. I don't know what they are. They look like spray paint cans, but they're everywhere. And couches hanging from the ceiling. What's this, a door? You're supposed to use the picture card. Looks like the entrance to hell, definitely. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this. Somebody is not having a pleasant time here. What's this say on the wall? Leonard Rhine, the monster lurks. This is never explained in this game. I think it's explained in the third game, but it is not explained here at all. But yeah, we got the shotgun. You can miss this here. I don't think it's required from the boss. It certainly helps with the boss. Now you enter the girls' bathroom here, and there's a bit of a interesting little trick. Now you're on the second floor. Like, it's just interesting. What they do to mess with your mind. Simple little things like that. Like, this gate is here that wasn't there before. Enter here, and tons of ammo, so it's definitely worth doing. And the bathrooms on both floors look exactly the same. Okay. And we can unlock this now, so I don't have to use the demon portrait. Come on. I will admit, aim assist kinda takes the spooks away. Oh, it's a bug. Let's see. Handgun bullets. Can't go through this door, right? No. And in this room, there's a bunch of phones. Can't use the phone. Oh, okay.
Cheryl!
Reminding you of your quest, why all of this is important. And that's another one you can't open. Looks like we're on our way to the second floor then. Okay, we can go this way. We actually have business on the roof right now. And on the roof, there's another seal. I do believe on a New Game Plus, you get a special item that you're supposed to use here, this is the first place you need to use it. So around here, there's a key in the drain, hanging just out of reach. So you can turn on the water. But it doesn't go down the right hole. What you do is you place the rubber ball, which is the most out of place thing here. And the key gets washed down. I will be right back. And I am back. And yep, a nice row of corpses on the wall. Anyway, the drainage thing will dump itself outside somewhere. I think it's over here. Yep, here it is. And we get ourselves a key. Yeah, let's get in here. This music is unnerving. Motorcycles, you know. Ah. Hurt and healed. Shotgun ammo. Shotgun ammo is the stuff we need to preserve because it's very important for boss fights. Let's see, can we go this way? Yes, we can. These bugs aren't... okay. Those bugs aren't doing that much to me. And the bugs might be a manifestation of Alessa's fear of bugs, obviously, or they might just be a normal infestation kind of deal, because they appear in Silent Hill 2, and maybe in 4, I don't know. I don't remember if they did in that one. And here you get a clear view of hanging corpses. remember this? The old locker room bit. This time you open it, and instead of the cat you're expecting, it's just an empty locker full of blood. Then this happens. That's how you do a jump scare. Instead of just ramping up the tension and then going boo because everyone expects that, you ramp up the tension and then you just give them nothing. Then you go boo. That is how a jump scare is done. Like, this game exceptionally well knows how to do horror. And in a sense, I am really peeved that this wasn't in the Silent Hill HD collection, that they didn't dedicate it, deem it important enough to go in there, considering it, you know, it's one of the most important survival horror games of all time. I mean, I understand that was butchered beyond all belief. You know, the second... it's not even the second time Silent Hill, the original, was butchered by people who didn't care. There was the movie... I don't know if I want to call Shattered Memories a butchering of the original. But it's definitely kind of disrespectful of the original, I guess. To just... the movie. Gonna go on about that at some point, I swear. I could fill up a full review with that. My complaints about that movie. You know, libraries are key because you can't get through it without it. Camera. Camera! Behave! This is why I don't record during the day. Anyway, manifestation of delusions. Poltergeists, among these negative emotions like fear, worry, or stress, manifest into external energy with physical effects. Nightmares have, in some cases, been shown to trigger them. However, such phenomena do not appear to happen to just anyone, although it's not clear why adolescents, especially girls, are prone to such occurrences. Yes, this is one of the examples of a young girl psychic thing that's one of the most common survival horror tropes. But I believe this game did it first, at least in the realm of video games. Hearing this, the hunter, armed with a bow and arrow, said, "I will kill the lizard." But upon meeting his opponent, he held back, taunting. He was afraid of a reptile. At this, the furious lizard hissed, "I'll swallow you up in a single bite." The huge creature attacked, jaws open wide. This was what the man wanted. Calmly drawing his bow, he shot into the lizard's gaping mouth. Effortlessly, the arrow flew, piercing the defenseless maw, and the lizard fell down dead. This is from an old fairy tale. I remember reading it as a kid. It's not gruesome enough to be a fairy tale. But that gives you a hint on how to defeat the boss. I do not like the first boss of this game, because it has one of my ultimate pet peeves when it comes to a boss, an instant death attack. It's the only boss in the game that has this, and it's the first boss. The aim assist can screw you up a bit, as it continually aims the same target, even if another enemy gets closer to you, so you'll have to put your gun down and put it back up in quickly. You can't auto-force it to hit the closer target. Okay, considering all of the motorcycle traffic we're getting around here, we're very close to the boss, which means I should just save. Keep in mind, I've been playing for about an hour longer than I've been recording. First things first. Go down here. These things are everywhere. And we go in here, and some shotgun shells, and our second ampoule. And keep in mind that there are only a handful of these in the game, like 6. And you got 2 already. Like, I think 6, I think there's actually less than 6. Like, 4 sounds right to me, but I think that's too few. I cannot stress this enough. Save before you go to this boss, because this boss has an insta-kill attack. And there's nothing left to face in the school. We have no choice but to fight it if we ever want to get out of here. This is another puzzle that I am not a fan of either. This is, I believe you move this one left once, and the other one you move right twice. I think this is just like trial and error. So, I'm going to trial and error it a bit. There really is no, like, move it right, and we'll move it right again and see what happens. Put the valve right. Looks like we're close to it. I'm going to move this one right and see what happens. Wrong direction. One of them moves 1 by 2. What am I doing? Left. 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 Why Harry can't just, I don't know, crawl through the things, I have no idea. No, I can't look up a guide. We're just gonna be doing this. I don't think there's any way to reset the puzzle except to reload. I mean, there are only so many combinations, right? By the law of averages, I'm eventually going to need to open it. Come on, come on. Like, I can see when I'm kind of, like, close. Like this looks really close. Like, just one more and it will turn it open. Come on, come on. No! Turn the valve left. Alright, this one turns the left side twice and the right side once. The other one does the opposite. So turn this. Please be the thing. Oh, thank God, I got it. Now you should probably go and save. As soon as I start recording, the world wakes up. Every single time in everything I do. Even if the save doesn't work, like from replay to replay, it's important for me to do this now. Because if you die in this game, I think it boots you back to the main menu. I don't die very often, but when I do, it's because of this guy here. I will be right back. Okay. Let's go and take on our... Let me go. Go onto the elevator and it goes down. A fire lights up and you fight the lizard. Brought to life by the fairy tale. So you start just firing at it a lot. Right now it doesn't really do much except attack you. Just keep running and keep firing. Actually, we're gonna... This attack, when it opens up its fucking mouth to try and eat you. Like, If it does that, it basically insta-kills it, but if you don't shoot it, it will insta-kill you. The sirens blare again. And we see the apparition of a 17-year-old girl. Once again, the CGI in this game just looks astounding.
What was that?
I don't know how they made FMVs so good. And like, nowadays it looks like a cartoon, definitely, but it still looks like a really good cartoon. Okay, Gordon Key. And we're back to the school. We hear bells ringing this time. Come on, get through the door. The camera can be a little bit annoying, but it helps with the game's atmosphere quite a bit. A church bell? Yes, an old New England town with only one church. Sure, that's 100% believable. And as you can see, rooms that we were able to go into before, we can't go in anymore. We can go upstairs, because the stairs are right here, but we're probably going to come across the exact same problem. Jammed. Jammed. It's jammed, it's all jammed. There's no way to go anywhere. It's like it was nothing more than a nightmare. Can you go back? Yeah, you can go back. Can't go outside. Or that way, but looks like the books are gone. And you can't get into the room with the creepy as hell portrait. The only room we can go into, I believe, is the infirmary because it has a save point. Which, you know, it's recommended you use. Save often. At every opportunity you can get. This isn't Resident Evil with its stupid limited save system. No. And somehow we got in past a locked door. So I guess we're back outside and back to exploring. There are a lot less monsters around. So this would probably be the best time to go around looking for items. They get really aggressive at night. Although I don't think there is much to be found. Just a lot of dead ends. this segment of town is quite small. And the church bell stops when we go outside because I guess that would be annoying. Let's see if there's any goodies this way. No, nothing on this end, and nothing on this end. Okay. And I believe this is the last street I didn't check. There's actually no enemies at all. I haven't run into a single dog or bird. Honestly, on some level, that's kind of unsettling. Just silence. Makes you wonder how much of what you fought was actually, you know, real. Alright. No place to go, just except to use the K. Gordon key. I have no idea what K. Gordon is a reference to, by the way. It just seems to be a random name. It leads us to a regular, everyday house, but maybe K. Gordon is the guy who lives inside. I don't know. Is there anything at the end of the alleyway? Oh. Yeah. One enemy. Just a dog. No, nothing down this way. I'll be right back. Alright. So, you go down this way and the camera will turn to this gate, I guess. So, on our back porch, and we can use the K. Gordon key to get inside. K. Gordon is not a character in this game, by the way. You never run into anybody by that name. Some broken plates. A save point, sure. Let's see. Lock is jammed. Now, on a New Game Plus, you can go to the chainsaw store now and pick yourself up a chainsaw. I don't think I've ever actually played this game on New Game Plus. They're not for very long anyway. It's very rare that I actually do a New Game Plus or play through New Game Plus things, because when I beat a game, usually the game I just played is the last game I want to start up again. I mean, I just beat it. What's left for me to really do? I want to play other games. Although some New Game Plus modes really, really do shine. Like Spyro 2's. That's got the best New Game Plus mode that I've come across in quite some time. Hello. You can dodge these guys with kind of like alligator run. Yeah. Something fast chases you, just... Eventually, they'll get bored. See, here's the chainsaw. There is no gasoline. Can't use it. Doesn't mean you can't pick it up, dude. Yeah, that whole area is just a no-go. Remember when I said this game had some, like, corny writing and dialogue? When we get to the church, we're gonna get to some of the most infamous example of that in this entire game. See, if you run like this, they don't get you. Unless you run into a wall or some shit. I went past the church. And this is Dahlia Gillespie.
Were you ringing that bell?
I've been expecting you. It was foretold by gyromancy.
Wait till the cutscene is over.
What are you talking about?
I knew you'd come. You want the girl, right?
The girl? You're talking about Cheryl.
I see everything.
You know something. Tell me.
Stay back. Nothing is to be gained from floundering about at random. You must follow the path. The path of the hermit concealed by flowers.
What? What are you talking about?
Here, the flowers, a cage of peace. It can break through the walls of darkness and counteract the wrath of the underworld. These will help you. Make haste to the hospital before it's too late.
Wait! Don't go yet.
That cutscene is interesting. I mean, the diction could definitely be a little bit better, but she mentions gyromancy, which I hope to high hell was a mistranslation. Do you know what gyromancy is? Gyromancy is attempting to predict the future by spinning around until you get so dizzy that you fall down. And where you fall down is your prediction of the future. That is what gyromancy is. It is just the most ridiculous, batshit random thing ever. This is the only time I've ever heard gyromancy mentioned, because it, like, I don't think anybody would ever use it. And I've heard some pretty ridiculous types of fortune telling, like using birds to predict the future, but no, spinning around until you get dizzy is perhaps the most convoluted one yet. It's a gas station that I don't think you can get into. I'm wondering, though, is there any more goodies? Ah! Oh, yes, there is goodies. It's a dead end, so we can't go down that way. Let's see. Oh, looks like. There's a door here. I don't know if we can go in. Oh, we can. I don't think I've ever been in this gas station. This is, I believe, where you get the gas canister in the New Game Plus to work with the chainsaw. You just gotta keep your eyes peeled. You never know what you're gonna find. And the game's going to get more and more stingy with items. Like, early in the game, it's giving you quite a lot. And it's definitely one of the reasons that I like Silent Hill a lot more than Resident Evil. The limited saves, the limited item usage, that just never appealed to me. Like, it doesn't make me feel, like, weaker or anything. It just makes me feel annoyed and constricted. And yeah, I know it's not exactly believable for one guy to have 5 different guns, a pipe, an axe, a knife, and about 1 million rounds of ammo, but still. Like, that's an acceptable break from reality. One that I could easily buy. At the end of the game is keeping track of all the items you picked up, and it will tell you how many, what percentage of all of them that you've come across. Although if you're trying to collect them all, I hope you're not using the Prima guide, because it actually misses some items. Like, an actual melee weapon, the emergency hammer. Which is unfortunate because it's the best melee weapon in the game. Yeah. This is a map to the shopping district. Silent Hill, at least this game, the area where we have to go, or the entire town, is divided into 3 districts. There's a keyhole on the control panel. I'm sure there is. Yes. And the drawbridge is down, so we can move on. Our goal now is to get to Alchemella Hospital, because of course it is. It's a Silent Hill game. Every single one of them needs to take you to a hospital. That's just how it works. Can't go in there, but there is a nice goodie for us here. How are we doing for them, by the way? Oh, I am injured. Got a good surplus of supplies. And yes, I am playing on normal mode. Is there anything interesting down here? No, it's just a no-go. Gotta get into the police station. Okay, not through that door then. If you miss the shotgun in the school, this is where you get it. It is your last chance to get it. Also, those ape things there are apparently created from Alessa's fear of adults. And we're going to be avoiding them like pretty much every other outside creature. Handgun bullets. Nothing helpful. Nothing helpful. And there's just a lot of bullets in here. The desk is messy. Yeah. I'm sure your writing desk is clean as hell, Harry. Connor Seals called. Officer Gucci, unlikely to be murdered. He apparently died naturally, but medical records show Officer Gucci had no prior symptoms of heart disease. Yeah, you just get these random clues about things, backstory of the town. Honestly, it's kind of corny, these ape things. Fast, though. Yeah, like, running around in a zigzag pattern like this, you could avoid most things outside. I call it a crocodile run because, please don't quote me on this, don't take this as actual advice, but I believe this is how you're supposed to outrun alligators or crocodiles. Like, if you are in the situation where you are running from a crocodile, do not take my advice, or I am not responsible for whatever might happen. But it does seem to work very well for this game, so I am going to keep doing it. The only times it is not working out for me is when I'm trying to pick shit up. Welcome to Alchemella Hospital. Immediately when you get inside, you get attacked by 2 dogs. Ooh, gunshot. Don't like hospitals or doctors in general, but it looks like we have to deal with both of them.
Hold it.
Hold it! I'm going to take that as shooting.
Wait. I'm not here to fight. My name is Harry Mason. I'm in town on vacation.
Thank God. Another human being.
Do you work here?
I'm Dr. Michael Kaufman. I work at this hospital.
So maybe you can tell me what's going on.
I really can't say. I was taking a nap in the staff room. When I woke up, it was like this. Everyone seems to have disappeared. And it's snowing out, this time of year. Something's gone seriously wrong. Did you see those monsters? Have you ever seen such aberrations? Ever even heard of such things? You and I both know creatures like that don't exist.
Yeah. Have you seen a little girl anywhere? I'm looking for my daughter. She's only 7. Short, black hair.
She's missing. I'm sorry. But with all those monsters around, I highly doubt that she's... Sorry, I didn't mean to alarm you. Your wife, she's here with you?
She died 4 years ago. Now it's just me and my daughter.
I see. I'm sorry. Well, I'd better be going. I can't just sit around here doing nothing.
So long. Good luck out there.
One of my biggest problems with the story of this game is Harry himself as a character. He's really, minimal is probably the right word. He doesn't get much depth, or character expansion, exploration. For the most part, he's just an observer. And we want to get that map. So we don't want to go this way quite yet. I have never played this game without the maps, and I'm not planning on starting now. Nothing unusual. There is a hospital map. Now, what we do here actually affects the ending. That's the reception door. And this, yeah, the lock is jammed. 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 It's all jammed. Oh, and there's also a hospital basement map separate for some reason. But yeah, Harry, I mean, he does react to stuff, but it's clearly not his story at all. You're just an observer. That's about it. And, I mean, like, even in the worst of the Silent Hill games, the protagonist is by far more involved. The only other time I think that you're this much an observer is in Origins, and I guess that's kind of the point, to explain the story more. Okay, so in here, you want to take a plastic bottle. Now, I mean, don't do this if you want the canon ending, because apparently doing this is not the canon ending. Also, oh, I thought you got stuff. Can't go there. The elevator doesn't appear to be working. And in this director's office, you get this red goo. Looks smashed on purpose. Looks like I have to stop because somebody is doing something. We'll continue this later. But first, what you want to do is use the red bottle. I'm going back to the save point. Last time, the neighbors rudely interrupted me. But before they did that, we got to Alchemella Hospital. I think that's how it's pronounced. And we got the unknown liquid in the director's room and the basement key, and we made it to the hospital, basically. And we did most of the stuff we're going to do in the light world. The light world, or the foggy world, I guess, hospital does not last very long. It's like one of the shortest segments in the entire game. And that's probably for the best because there are literally no enemies in it whatsoever. The elevator doesn't work, and we can go to the basement. The goal here is to just get the elevator working. Right, 2 hands to move. Oh, I guess there are. I have a flashlight. Why isn't it on? Usually it turns on automatically. Okay, I was wrong about no enemies being in here, but yeah, just bugs. Nothing beyond that, I believe. Now in the boiler room. Okay, I can't get in there. Yep. Hospital generator. Let's see here. Can't get into the morgue. But the elevator now works. And as you can see on the first floor, the stairway was blocked off from us. That door there is locked and jammed. But with the elevator, we can go to the other floors. So let's go out to floor number 2. Can't go into floor number 2. Floor number 3 then. It's also locked and jammed. Well, I guess we have to leave the hospital then. Except, now there's a 4th floor. Now, in Japan, the words for and death are pretty damn close to each other. So this is even more foreboding than it looks. We're able to go to a non-existent 4th floor. And for the only time in the game, you have to willingly, actually not the only time in the game, but you have to willingly enter the other world this time around. We had a cutscene. And we don't have a map of this place because we don't have a map of the 4th floor. What was that? It's locked. Oh, yeah, we can't go back. I don't think you can go into any of the rooms on the 4th floor. Yeah, the door locks behind you. Oh, finally, he turns the damn thing on. Let me guess. Yeah, it's locked too. I've never noticed that you can hear the locking sound. And now, we're in the other world, Alchemilla Hospital. I actually want to get down to the basement first. Holy shit, these guys have a lot of health. Demon doctors! Let's just say that Alessa, the 17-year-old, did not have good experiences with the medical staff. Actually, they're puppet doctors. As you can see, there's some sort of parasite on their back, making them do and act this way. There's an argument that they're just as, like, human as Dr. Kaufman was. They're just being controlled by these bugs. And of course, the nurses are in the same position. They're a lot faster, but they don't seem to do as much damage or take as much punishment. Anyway, in here, there is the hammer. Once again, the Prima Guide does not tell you about this. Emergency hammer. Highly damaging. But difficult to use. Actually, I don't think it is that difficult to use. It's my favorite melee weapon in the game. That's locked. Ah, okay. Bad idea. I don't know how I manually turn the flashlight off. There's a button that does it, I just don't know which one it was. Reload that. Reload that. Actually, no. We're gonna do this quickly. I want to try this against one enemy at a time first. There we go. Once again, in the other world, you're highly recommended of using firearms because of the narrow hallways. And it's often hard to see your enemies. A body's laid on the bed. Don't feel like checking this out. Yeah, we're in the morgue. I think the elevator still works, though, so we can go right back up to the 3rd floor. Yep, it's all red in here now. That's some good water. Hopefully his doors actually work. took a longer time than it should have to load this cell. Okay, it's just locked. Two then. It's also locked. Keep in mind, they're not jammed this time around. They're just locked. This time, though, in the vending machine, there's a health drink. Health drink. Health drink. Yeah. Okay. In this level, we're going to be looking for these placards. They are a reference to Alice in Wonderland. Hard to use my ass. It's easy when there's only one of them. This is how you save ammo. I'll drink. The refrigerator is empty. Alright. Can't go in there. Nothing special. The doctors are incredibly slow. So even if they get the drop on you, a sound is heard beyond the door. So yeah, so even if the doctors get the drop on you, you're probably fine. It's the nurses that you gotta worry about. This room is just empty. Door's jammed. Door's jammed. Door is jammed. Alright. Let's explore the second floor then. As long as you're quick. The Grim Reaper's List. Lydia Findley, Trevor F. White, Albert Lords, Roberta T. Morgan, Edward C. Briggs. Is locked. Okay, so we can't get there right now. That whole segment is just divided off from us. Another, yeah. Once again, hard to use my ass. Nothing, a slate. Nothing more than that. And here we come across this level's puzzle. Once again, it's clouds flowing over hills, sky on a sunny day, tangerines that are bitter, lucky four-leaf clover, violets in the garden, dandelions of unavoidable sleeping time, liquid flowing from a slashed wrist. We have one palette or plate of Queen. Like I said, they're all referencing Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland. Another fairy tale, technically. Some people don't consider Alice in Wonderland a fairy tale. I kind of do. It's got a lot in common with fairy tales, let's say. Yes, I know this amount of damage is unnecessary. This is a lighter. Oh, yeah. Tentacle things. You can't kill them, so we'll have to come back here later. Not much more we can do on the second floor. We have to go up to the third. Seriously, the hammer is fucking awesome. And like I said, the Prima Guide, it does not clue you into this existing. I don't know why they had such a reputation for being so good, considering pretty much every single one of their guidebooks has an issue with it. I already talked about the one in Ape Escape, where it said you needed to use a Skyflyer in one episode or level when you actually didn't. In here, there's a TV with a VCR. It's old, but usable. A steel plate. It's screwed to the wall. Yeah, in this level you're going to come across a lot of red herrings, I guess. Pieces of a puzzle that you're not going to solve here. The Grim Reaper's list, the plates on the wall, right now in game they mean absolutely nothing. Go across the long, empty hall and take this. Yeah, they know how to use that trick. They do it a lot. Also, for some reason, that is the only bathroom in this entire level that you can enter. So yeah, puppet nurses. They're not a problem, like, the hammer kind of makes the game a little bit too easy, to be honest. The reason that I can't beat hard mode is because I can't get to this point. Like, the hammer not only does a lot of damage, but it has stopping power. So you could just get a shit ton of blows on any enemy. It's really not good against agile enemies like the birds and the dogs, but here's a blood pack. But it's absolutely great against slow lumbering enemies. Like the apes and the puppet nurses and such. Can't go into a storeroom. Yeah, I notice how the camera keeps you from seeing what's deep into the room. Once again, I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. We already got what's in here, right? It was the placard? Yeah, it was the placard. Okay. Let's unlock this, even though we don't have to come back to the 3rd floor anymore. We have gotten everything. This is not the right door. This is the right door. We have 3 out of the 4 placards we need, or plates, whatever. We just need to get one more, and we know where it is. And now we have the item we need to get it. These things. Here you go. Drop the bloody thing and they go and eat it. This will allow us to get the plate of Hatter. Tentacles. I guess they're from Alessa's fear of worms or snakes, something like that. I mean, some of the enemy interpretations are quite obvious. They get more and more subtle as the series goes on. To the point where in Homecoming they have nothing to do with anything. They're just there because they were in other Silent Hill games. Ahem. Okay, so let me get, I don't know, notepad here, and we can go with the order. The order actually has nothing to do with what's on the placards. So, clouds flowing on an overhill, that's white. Sky on a sunny day is blue. Tangerines that are bitter, that's orange. That's green. That's purple. Notice how they're not actually using the colors purple or orange, even though that could fit into the poem. Kind of. That's why. That's your clue, I guess. Dandelions are yellow. Unavoidable sleeping time, that's black. And liquid flowing from the slashed wrist is red. So as you can see, the ones that are already there is the white, the orange, the purple, and the black. So, first one's first, we put the blue one here. Put the green one here. We put the yellow one here. And we put the red one here. lot easier than the piano puzzle, if you'll ask me. Even without the guide's stupidity, it's a lot easier than the school one. By a long shot. The hammer also has really good range. You're not dead yet, are you? Operating prep room, into the operating room. And here, we get a very special key to the basement storeroom. The soundtrack starts up again with all its heavy-duty medical clanks. Mechanical clanks, not medical clanks. I think the doctors only appear on the first floor. Everywhere else it's just the nurses. Also, there's a little bit of aim assist with the melee weapons, making this thing even more overpowered. I wouldn't recommend fighting bosses with this. Like, for a couple of them you can't. We need the disinfecting alcohol. But for most common enemies, the hammer is God. First aid kit. Now we gotta go to the basement. Alright, which door was locked? Let's see here. Yes, and you'll push the cabinet, which seems to be on a minecart track. This opens the way to a secret room. Considering the storeroom is a lot smaller than it looks. Surprised anything can grow in this place. Yes, now Harry has a lighter. I have no idea what happened to his lighter from the beginning of the game. That's some PS1 fire. Okay, so now we're in another area where we don't have a map. I swear I'm playing on normal. Ah, get off me. Alright. Yeah, it looks like that just goes to the sewers or something. Oh, that actually got me to jump. Sound of someone breaking glass bottles. What do we have here? A videotape. Oh, yeah. Once again, I will be right back. And we're back. Oh, yeah. Okay.
What's this?
Looks like every other room.
Looks like someone's been here.
Yeah, that is different. Alessa. No monsters coming out to say boo. Okay. Long hallways like this with the cameras just pushed back, that's amazing cinematography. And this room looks more red than I remember. Alright. Ah, the examination room. We can actually, you know, leave now. But first, you might want to check out the video. So, room 302. Of course, it has to be 302. For those who don't know, 302 is the apartment, or the eponymous room in Silent Hill 4, The Room. And bad things, or good things, never happen in room 302. Yeah. Alright. One, 302. Yeah, I might want to save. If you're like doing a speedrun or anything, I'd recommend not doing this because well, you'll see. can barely make anything out. In a modern Silent Hill game, or a later Silent Hill game, I guess, checking a video like that would probably help determine your ending. In this one, there's only specific points that determine your ending. In Silent Hill 2, it's more active. There are definitely certain points of the game that influence your ending. But things that influence your ending in Silent Hill 2 are like looking at a knife repeatedly. In Silent Hill 3, it depends on how many enemies you kill. Which gets better and better into Silent Hill 4, where it's kind of just specific decisions again. Sort of. And in Homecoming, it definitely is just specific decisions, which is a major regression.
Finally, someone else who's okay.
Who are you?
My name's Lisa Garland. What's yours?
Harry Mason.
Harry, tell me what's happening here. Where is everybody? I must have gotten knocked out. When I came to, everyone was gone. It's awful.
So you don't know anything either. Great. I just don't get it. It's like this is all some kind of bad dream.
Yeah, a living nightmare.
Let me ask you, have you seen a little girl around here? Short, black hair, 7 years old?
A 7-year-old girl. What, she's your daughter?
Yes.
A 7-year-old girl. I can't say that I have. I was unconscious all this time. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Do you know anything about all that weird stuff in the basement?
No? Why? Is there something down there?
You don't know? Don't you work here?
We're under strict orders never to enter the basement storeroom. So I really don't know. What did you say was down there?
Well, it's... Damn! My head.
What's wrong? Harry? Harry, let me help you. Harry?
One of the biggest transgressions of the Silent Hill movie...
You were too late.
I'll talk about that in a minute.
It's you.
Yes, Dahlia Gillespie.
Tell me everything you know. What's going on?
Darkness. The town is being devoured by darkness. Strength must overcome petty desire, childish sleep talk. I knew this day would come.
What are you talking about? I don't understand a word of this.
Believe the evidence of your eyes. The other church in this town, that is your destination. This is beyond my abilities. Only you can stop it now. Have you not seen the crest marked on the ground all over town?
So that's what I saw in the schoolyard. What does it mean?
It is the mark of Samael. Don't let it be completed.
Hey, wait!
So, I guess now is time to talk about the Silent Hill movie, because it does do some things that are really, really just fucking awful. One of its biggest transgressions, like I was saying, was that it removed the character of Lisa from the game entirely, and her story is one of the saddest, most touching things about the original Silent Hill story. I could say that she's probably the strongest character in the entire game. It does other things too, like, I don't know, change the entire context of the first Silent Hill game. Make Dahlia out to be a good person when she is one of the most evil characters in the entire series. I don't want to spoil what she does, but she is not a good person by any stretch. The Silent Hill movie wanted to go into themes of motherhood for some reason. This game has very little to do with that theme at all. Which is even more baffling because there is a Silent Hill game where motherhood is the central theme of the game. Silent Hill 4. That game is pretty much entirely about motherhood. Yeah. And let's not forget, they've replaced Harry with Rose. Why? I don't want to get into this now, but stupid reasons, let's say. So yeah, the Silent Hill movie did the Ghostbusters thing like a decade before Ghostbusters. And unlike with Ghostbusters, it actually really did harm the overall product of the movie. With Ghostbusters, if it had good writing, good direction, good acting, and all that kind of shit, it could have been a good film. The fact that it had female protagonists instead of male protagonists really didn't have much to do with its quality at all. However, you'll notice that Harry is one of the few male characters in the game. The only other one is Dr. Michael Kaufman, who barely appears in the game and I don't think appears at all in the movie. So, they needed to shoehorn in a male character, Sean Bean, I forget his name, just going about the world, investigating, completely breaking the immersion, breaking the plot, because the studio wanted to know why there was no male characters in the movie at all. Honestly, I could go on and on about the movie. How it has Pyramid Head for no fucking reason. Well, no reason beyond marketing. Seriously, I love Silent Hill 2, but it's one of those things where... Wait, what does that say? Mushnik's Florist. I did not know that there was a Little Shop of Horrors reference in Silent Hill. I don't know if it was intentional, but it's intentional to me now. But yeah, I love Silent Hill 2, but it's one of the things where, because it exists, it's a large reason why the Silent Hill series has died. So many games were just trying so desperately to recapture what Silent Hill 2 did. 3 and 4, they were their own things, but after that, everything was just trying to fucking... I can't get to the save point. Whatever. Everything was just trying to be Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 2, or Silent Hill 1.
What's this?
Harry!
Sybil?
I'm glad you're okay. I shouldn't have left you. Things are worse than I thought. It's nuts.
What are you doing here? I thought you left town.
I saw you go in here, so I followed you. I couldn't get out. All the roads out of town are blocked. Cars have completely stopped running. The phones and radios are still out too.
What about my daughter? Did you see her?
I did see a girl.
Was it Cheryl?
I only caught a glimpse of her through the fog. I went after her, but she vanished. I don't know about your daughter, but...
And you just let her go? Where was it?
On Bachman Road. She was heading towards the lake. Now don't get excited. It wasn't like she ran off exactly. There was no place for her to go. The road has been obliterated.
What? So then Cheryl...
It was like she was walking on thin air.
Hmm?
What about you? Anything?
Yeah, I met this bizarre woman. Her name's Dahlia Gillespie. Do you know her?
Dahlia Gillespie. No. And?
She said something about the town being devoured by darkness. Gibberish like that. Any idea what it means?
Darkness devouring the town? Must be on drugs. They sell them to the tourists. The Force still can't figure out who's behind it. None of our leads have panned out. And the investigation is stalled.
What could drug trafficking have to do with all this?
I really don't know. But maybe that's the darkness she was talking about. That's all I can think of. What's this?
Just discovered it. Maybe there's something back there.
Let's have a look.
Wait. We don't know what's back there. I'd better check it out first.
I'm a cop. I should go.
No, I'm going.
All right. I'll cover you from here. Be careful. If anything looks fishy, get back here on the double.
Okay. Sybil,
Yeah?
do you know anything about... well, like some other world? It's like some kind of bad dream.
What are you talking about?
I'm not quite sure. I try to make sense of it, but then my mind goes blank. Everything's dark there, and I hear sirens in the distance. I met this nurse, Lisa. It's like I was there, but not really. It's all a blur, like some kind of hallucination, you know?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Harry.
I was just wondering. Never mind.
Harry, you're tired.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, like, after Silent Hill 4, the series has been in a major dirge of creativity. Silent Hill Origins basically just tried to go Silent Hill 2 on Silent Hill 1. Shattered Memories, I don't know what it was trying to accomplish with Silent Hill 1. I mean, it told an interesting story, for sure. But I wish it told its own story.
What's this? Some kind of altar. Never seen anything like this before. Maybe this is the other church.
You don't have one of these in, like, your bathroom or something? Kind of powder left in the chalice. And now there's something in here. Ah, yes. You want to get this. But yeah. Then there was Downpour. Or Homecoming, actually. Homecoming came before that. Homecoming, it's a rehash of Silent Hill 2.
What the?
And it has twists that don't make sense. Downpour was basically the final game in the series. And for once, it wasn't a ripoff of a previous Silent Hill game. Downpour is a ripoff of another horror game called The Suffering. It tells pretty much the exact same story. It has the exact same conflict, and the exact same morality twist. With combat and mechanics taken from Condemned 2 Bloodshot.
Where am I?
Harry,
Lisa? Then I'm in the hospital?
You were having a bad dream.
Was I? Hey, you don't look too good. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Nothing you need to worry about.
Well, if you're sure. Lisa, do you know a woman named Dahlia Gillespie?
Oh yeah, that crazy Gillespie lady. She's kind of famous around here. She never sees anybody, so I don't know that much about her. But I heard her kid died in a fire, and supposedly she's been crazy ever since.
Well, she says the town is being devoured by the darkness. Do you have any idea what she's talking about?
The town devoured by the darkness. Yes, I think I do. Before this place was turned into a resort, the townspeople here were on the quiet side. Everybody followed some kind of queer religion. Weird occult stuff, black magic, that kind of thing. As young people moved away, the people figured they'd been summoned by the gods. Evidently, things like that used to happen around here all the time. Before the resort, there really wasn't anything else out here. Everyone was so flipped out, gotta blame it on something. Then a lot of new people came in, and everybody clammed up about it.
A cult?
Last time I heard anything about it was, gosh, years ago. When several people connected with developing the town died in accidents. People said it was a curse. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm rambling. I'll shut up.
I have to say that Lisa has very good voice acting for the time.
Did I pass out again?
Her nerves, Harry. You're in the other world again. I don't know what's real anymore. Ugh. I hope I don't have a nightmare like this. And once again, we see this mark. The one Dahlia calls the mark of Samael. Which I believe is very similar to the name Samuel, which is the name of the devil, or something. I never really got that far in my theology. Now, for the first time ever, we're in the other world, but outside. Not just in the dark, like before the school, but the full-on, full-blown other world. enemies actually are different this time around. They have different appearances and different names. Like, the demon dogs now look like their heads are made of worms. Or like they're being devoured by worms. Anyway, Silent Hill Town Center. That's where we are, I believe. Yep. Basically a shopping mall. Kinda wish this was a full area, but...
Cheryl.
Well, I am starting to cough. Throat's not sore yet, but might not be able to keep doing this for much longer. Let me see if can we enter any of these stores. Yes, we can. I believe this is a jewelry store. By the way, if you want the top score for beating this game, you need to do it in under 2 hours. I mean, I'm sure it's possible. Like, speedrunners do some crazy-ass shit. But I can't imagine how I would do it. And you see something kind of disturbing back there. Is anything over on this end? Nope. Okay, so besides that one store, you can't go into anything. Okay, good to know. Looks like some kind of worm eating a corpse. And after all this time, we have our second boss fight. Definitely the easiest one in the game, but there's something you gotta do beforehand. Let's see, where the fuck is it? There it is. Yeah, he doesn't do too much damage. You want to pick up the hunting rifle. Come on. I said you want to pick it up. So he pops out of the ground occasionally, and... usually right on top of you. If you got enough health and ammo, this shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, that's it. That's the fight. So it's dead, kind of, but it runs away, opening the door for you, conveniently. Alright. We got enough ammo to take care of the rest of the game. feel like we're a good amount through it. Yeah, we have to get back to the hospital. Yeah. The bird demons have gotten stronger as well. Hopefully, alligator running still works. And we see that there are some windmills out in the distance. Your chance to explore this part of the city, I think, has come and gone. And you can see the seal on many of the buildings as we run. Nope, no secrets. Keep going, keep going, keep going! This must have been even more terrifying at the time. We didn't have modern graphics to gawk at. Go, go, go! Okay, the axe is actually inferior to the hammer. I think this is actually where I'm going to save it for now. Things are getting a little bit interesting. But my cough is starting to pick up, so... Until next time... And I have returned. Hopefully my voice doesn't give out because it's later the same day. Usually I give myself like a full day or so to recover. But no. We're gonna go straight for it because we got 950 games to go, so.
Glad you're okay.
Thank God you came back. I was scared to be here all alone.
I'm here now. I was worried too. I'm real happy to see you. Lisa, can you tell me how to get to the lake?
The lake? You take Bachman Road.
The road's blocked.
Well, that's the only way out there.
Are you sure? There's gotta be another way.
Wait! I just remembered something.
What?
There's a waterworks over by my old elementary school. It's been abandoned for years. There's an underground tunnel out there used for inspections or something. I remember hearing it runs all the way to the lake.
Really? You think I can get to the lake from there?
I've never been down in there myself, so I'm not positive. Besides, it's all fenced off to keep people out.
If there's a chance, I've got to try.
Harry, don't go! I don't want to be alone. It's so scary, I can't stand it.
How about coming with me? This may not be the safest place in the world either. I can't promise you anything, but I'll do my best to protect you.
No. Somehow I feel I'm not supposed to leave this place. Oh, Harry. I'm so scared. I'm cold.
Look, just wait here a little longer. I'll be back as soon as I find my daughter.
Harry?
Like I said, Lisa is a very tragic character. Especially when you learn about the twists and all of that. It gets worse for her. Anyway. Out here, take a look at the map. You're automatically told that you can't leave Kuntz Street. It's completely and obviously blocked off. The only way you can go is up here because we've got a boss fight. Our worm friend is back. These two things exist because of Alessa's fascination with insects. And pretty much the same strategy. Like, this is how all the bosses are going to work from now on. Just keep shooting at it. Also, reload through the inventory. Don't wait for Harry to do it. With the pistol, it doesn't matter because he just keeps shooting. But it takes a second for him to do it with the shotgun and the rifle. Take a step back occasionally. Don't get cornered. And the world returns to... normal is not the right word. I'm going to try to not talk so much. My throat is a bit sore, but I really do enjoy this game. Like, yeah, it's strange to say this with an M-rated game, but it was a large part of my childhood. Then again, how many kids during the Super Nintendo era played Mortal Kombat? Or Doom? Alright, so we're back to Foggy Silent Hill. So foggy, I can't tell where I'm going. I have no idea why the camera's pulled so far back. Ah, yes. The game really rewards exploration. Immediately just takes you to the school. Yeah, I just realized there is no way in hell that I'm going to be able to record with my voice in this state. If I keep going, I'm going to lose my voice, which is going to set me back a lot more. So I just gotta go to the bus, I guess. save. And we're back with my throats not as sore. There's a reason I've been mostly... Ah! You stupid dog, you make me look bad! Where's the other one? Am I hurt? No, not hurt. Wonder if I can go back inside the school just to take a look. Yeah, it's locked. Wait, I unlocked the other one, though. No reason to search the school anymore. Okay. But yeah, my throat's a little bit less sore. There's a reason that I've only really been doing shorter games. We've only played one game, I think, so far that's gone beyond 10 hours. And that's a Zelda game, so it feels a lot quicker. Break the thing. It's locked. Yeah. I think it froze on me. Yeah, it froze on me. Let's go back to the save point and see if... There you are. Now you will bother no one ever again. Reservoir. It's locked. Please don't freeze. Oh, fucking hell. I don't know why it's doing this. I have an ISO, not an actual disc, so it's not like the disc is scratched. Fucking hell.